What up, gamers? You're now in tune to another session of Pondering Wind. I'm the East Wind, and after watching E3 yesterday, to be honest, I wasn't impressed with the showing. But one game did stand out to me. Well, actually two. You know what I'm saying? God of War and Horizon, the new Gorilla game. But what I want to talk about here real quick is God of War. Now, Capcom, take notes. This is how you reboot or start from, quote, scratch in a flagship series like God of War, or in Capcom's case, Resident Evil. It's the same principle that Shinji applied to Resident Evil 4. If you notice, Resident Evil 4 could be called a reboot because of what Shinji did with Resident Evil and putting you, the player, into the actual world of Resident Evil with that over-the-shoulder perspective. Now, if you look at God of War, the Norse version, they have taken and put you into the world of God of War. You weren't really in it before. God of War 1 through 3 was like Resident Evil 1 through Veronica. It was more of you were playing a movie. I'm not talking about quick time events either. I'm talking about the camera angle. Like, if you go back and look at Resident Evil 1 through Veronica, the camera angles are angles that would be used if you were directing a movie. Or a perfect example is just go watch any horror movie. For jump scares, they hide things from you, obviously. You know, for people that's been long time horror movie fans, the camera angles change depending on where the characters move within that movie. And that was the same case for Resident Evil. When you turn a corner, the camera angle changes so it could set up. It was setups for, biohazards to bust through and all that. And for God of War, it was fixed camera angles too. Whereas what they've done now with this reboot, a proper reboot, or a quote starting over or whatever, is they put you into the world of God of War, and you can look around in this world, as opposed to the camera angles being fixed. That's definitely the greatest thing that they could have done for God of War. Now, I will say this is kind of a negative. Why does this guy, this new quote God of War, look like Kratos, man? Like, y'all couldn't come up with another design for him? That's the only negative I can say about it. But then again, is how people recognize what it was. So I don't know, maybe it's a character placeholder. I hope that's what it is, man. And the fact that he's got a little kid with him, or his son, I think that that's gonna make the gameplay more interesting. Yeah, man. So shout out to Sony Santa Monica for showing what a proper reboot or a proper starting from scratch should be. Because Shinji already did it, like I said, with Resident Evil 4. It was a reboot in how you play the franchise of Resident Evil. You know what I'm saying? The series Resident Evil. And that's the same thing that Sony Santa Monica has done with God of War. So with that being said, man, as always, thanks for listening. Peace.